Welcome inside Art Daywall Gym at Richland High School, where it's been regional basketball all day, and we've had a busy one. Austin Getz down here covering all the action. We started the day with the Chihuahua Riverhawks getting a win over to Camas. We'll get them in a second. Then a little bit, a while ago, we had Kennewick get a win over Peninsula, and right now at halftime of the game that's in, well, halftime right behind me, the Tri-City Prep Jaguars lead Auburn Adventist 36-5.
Well, you mentioned it. Both these teams going to the playoffs. Both know who they're going to be playing. So that makes it interesting if this is a hard game to focus on tonight. I asked the guys that. Here's what the Chiefs' Jake McGrew and Americans' Parker Acoyne had to say.
Well, hello again from Howard Amon Park in Richland as day one of the Richland Regatta is in the books. I am the not yet engaged Austin Getz, and congratulations to Scott Daniels. And I'm standing right in front of where our SWX announcers booth is being taken down because, as I said, day one is in the books.
College football fans, it is finally here, Apple Cup week. Now, different folks have different feelings on the rivalry. Some look past the first 11 games on the schedule with anxious anticipation to the annual meeting of the Evergreen State's two Pac-12 teams. Others, like myself, dread the end of the season and the rivalry game that comes with it in fear of the other side having bragging rights for a calendar year. Whatever your feelings are, we're here whether you like it or not.
Now, a moment ago, I mentioned the Sweets could get into the playoffs with a win plus some help, and here's how that can happen. First off, you got to win tonight against Kelowna. Then you need either a Corvallis win or a Portland loss. If that combination of scenarios happens, the Sweets will be headed to the playoffs for the first time since 2013. It's supposed to be a great night at the ballpark. It is a little hot, so if you're coming out, bring some sunscreen. Parker Acoyne here. Parker, another matchup with the Chiefs, and maybe the last time for this season, maybe the last time for your career. What has it meant to face off with these guys for the 4 years you've been in America? And Nolan, at this week at practice, he was more vocal than I've ever seen him at any other practices. He's a 20-year-old. He does not want his time in the WHL to be over, so he's been super fired up. Kennewick's bringing a lot of weapons back. You guys should have a very good offense, so getting a little bit ahead of the game, getting out here in 7-7, working on your passing attack, how do you think that's going to help you in the regular season come the fall? Well, will the Mustangs complete the sweep with a second win here at Bowden Court tonight, or will the Red Devils even the series and try and keep their postseason hopes alive? We'll find out in just a moment as we step aside. Tip-off right around the corner right here on SWX. At long last, the Central Washington Wildcats are out of fall camp and into game week. This Saturday, they open their 2019 season when they face the Idaho Vandals at the Kibbie Dome in Moscow.
Well, this could very well be who we see in 2 weeks in the playoffs, these two teams.
Yeah, and for the Americans, that's something that they want to fix because they're 0-3 against the Giants this year. So hoping to get a win here, maybe get a peek at who you're going to be playing in the playoffs and get ready.
Well, let's zoom out now from something right here in the Tri-Cities to all the way across the world in France, as today was the quarterfinals of the 2019 Women's World Cup. United States were taking on tough host country France.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah, I'm here with Nolan Yaremko. Nolan, a bit of a struggle against Vancouver this year. 0-3 so far. How can you get in a win in the last regular season matchup with these guys?
Mustache mania has spread across the nation. Gardner planted a mustache on Coach Leach after the game, and we planted some mustaches on ourselves.
Yes, we actually got a pack that had several different options at the store, and if you think we were crazy and only going to do it in the primetime show, you were wrong.
Nah, you don't know us.
I'm going to wear this until ever.
Yeah,
until the season's over.
I'm gonna wear it to bed.
I think I will too. It gives you power.
Yeah.
You just become the
feel like an
shoe.
old-timey barber.
Yes.
With the curly Q.
And Coach, how are you going to come back and tie and get the win here tonight?
We're just going to score 2 goals.
Sounds good. All right, Craig, we'll go back to you. He's going to score 2 goals. Signing off right now from Richland and for Cooper Perkins, Austin Getz, SWX.
As Reyes sends a man in motion across the formation. Takes the snap, now looking out to the right. Throw and catch by Lacone. Slips one tackle, and there's the speed. Des Lacone inside the 30, trying to outrun a man, and he will. Touchdown, Pasco, their first play of the drive.
Jones, the defense and the rebound. Trey Arland out and running. Now here's Cannell to Rose, the layup, and the foul!
Vieja in the backfield, snap is high. He's going to go for the end zone. Going deep, Messiah Jones, one-handed catch for a touchdown!
15 seconds, Westermeyer picks up his dribble, he's in trouble. Now here's Gray, driving, puts it up. Gray puts it in! 5 seconds left. Timeout called by Kennewick. Nate Gray Jr., his first points of the game, puts Kennewick up front, 51-50.
They just let the senior running back make a play. We'll see what comes out of the Steve Graff playbook this time. Zamora's going to pass.
And he wants the end zone, and a leaping catch by Preston Vine. He's in. Touchdown. He was trying to pick up the foul there. Gives it off to Malia Cortez. Nice pass. Gold into the bucket. Puts it in.
Good pick and roll. Great pick and roll.
Mercado looking right. Firing over the middle. Cut. And see you later. Kellen Rutz, his second of the night. Turned away from her drive. Goes out to Gross. Laid to the basket, and it rolls in. 15 seconds left. In the back line, here's Bowder going over to Brustad, and there's your set number 1 victory. The Bombers take it. Here's a rebound and going the other direction quickly. Shot. Oh, what a block by Woodward. Getting up and pinning it to the glass. 2-1 pitch on the way. This one's going to be slapped out into right field. Looks like it's going to get down, and it will. Poe held up a little bit. They're going to send him, though. Here's the throw. It misses the cutoff man and goes into second. Poe comes in to score, and it's 2-1 Hanford.
The fact that I could be watching football with my son was I never thought I'd be able to utter those words. You know, I thought I was just on a path to death.
That's what legendary WSU quarterback Ryan Leaf thought as he sat in prison after being arrested in 2012 for breaking into a home in Great Falls, Montana, and stealing prescription painkillers. However, he says that his problem started much earlier than when he got addicted to opiates.
I will tell you this, I was a drug addict long before I ever took a drug. In that I know how a drug addict behaves. I was angry, I was judgmental, I was uber competitive.
That competitiveness is what drove him to become one of the greatest college quarterbacks ever, an All-American, a Heisman candidate, and an NFL draft pick second only to Peyton Manning. However, perhaps the most amazing part of Ryan Leaf's story is what he started in prison and finished once he got out, turning his life around.
It actually was the perfect example of being in a terrible place and circumstance and making a choice to do something positive and healthy with your lifestyle.
Leaf has since been touring the country, speaking to athletes at colleges such as Alabama, Texas A&M, and yes, even his college arch-rival, the University of Washington. Tonight, he's speaking at his alma mater, Washington State. So what made him take the 140-mile detour to speak at Southridge this morning? An old friend.
So Ryan and I have known each other for most of our lives. In fact, I can't even really remember because my mom and his mother were college roommates at nursing schools. And so he just were at lunch with my wife and my kids, and he just goes, you know, I come speak because with the radio gig and the Pac-12 gig, he's now going to be up in Pullman a little bit more.
Leaf didn't have to be at Southridge this morning at 8:30 a.m. to speak, but the desire to share his story with as many young minds drove him to it. He talks about going the extra mile for things like that in his speeches, and from what we can see, he's setting the example himself. Austin Getz, SWX.
And I think this weekend is a part of just letting her know, even though she's the one that's diagnosed, she doesn't have to carry this alone. We're here to carry this with her.
Jazzy Guillen lived a pretty normal life for a 15-year-old girl. A student at Prosser High School, she loved basketball and soccer. But on February 17th, 2019, her life would change forever. She awoke with severe stomach pain, and after a trip to the hospital, doctors discovered a tumor in her lower abdomen. Shortly thereafter, she was diagnosed with a rare form of stage 4 cancer.
It was like shock completely because she was a perfectly healthy 15-year-old girl and nobody expected her to ever have cancer.
One of the first things I said to her the day after she was diagnosed is, I think cancer picked the wrong patient.
And so her fight began. Jazzy was taken to Seattle Children's Hospital where she immediately began treatment, leaving behind a community wanting to help.
So when this came about and, kind of knew how serious it was, reached out and gave Kyler a call and said, hey, what do you think about doing the tournament this year? And we just donate all the proceeds.
Out of nowhere, we had 54 teams show up, officials donating their time for free. Just an amazing event.
And along with those teams came parents, spectators, and people wanting to help out any way they could, donating time to work the tournament and money to support the cause. Before the second of 3 days wrapped up, the original financial goal of $25,000 had been surpassed. By the time it was finished, over $30,000 had been raised for the Guillen family. And even though Jazzy herself couldn't witness the tournament firsthand, other members of her family were in attendance both on and off the court.
It means a lot. It means more than a lot. We're very appreciative and we just love every single one of you.
The people that have come out to help us and to encourage us, the prayers that have gone out all over the world, and the financial support, people have truly just inspired us, and they've overwhelmed us.
Austin Getz, SWX.